Who was Adam? By Fazale Rana. The central thesis. The book proposes that modern scientific evidence, rather than contradicting the biblical account of human origins, actually provides compelling support for a supernatural creation event. It argues for the historical reality of Adam and Eve as the first humans, created by God's direct intervention. Critique of the evolutionary model. A detailed examination of the standard human evolutionary narrative is presented, highlighting persistent problems and gaps in the fossil record. The book questions the alleged lineages and the mechanisms proposed to explain the sudden appearance of human characteristics. The origin of humanity's unique biology. Evidence from genetics, anatomy, and physiology is used to argue for the abrupt appearance of humans. This includes the complexity of the human brain, bipedalism, and other traits that appear without clear evolutionary precursors. The genetic evidence for a recent origin. Findings from mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome studies are interpreted to support a recent origin for humanity from a single pair, aligning with the concept of a mitochondrial Eve and a Y chromosomal Adam. The origin of language and symbolism. The book explores the profound difficulty of explaining the origin of complex human language, symbolism, and art through natural processes. This capacity is presented as a unique, defining trait of humans that points to a creative act. The cultural Big Bang. The sudden explosion of sophisticated art, music, ritual, and technology around 40,000 to 50,000 years ago is discussed. This event contrasts sharply with the slow, gradual changes expected by evolution and is presented as evidence for the infusion of a spiritual nature. Humanity's moral and spiritual nature. The universal human capacity for religious belief, moral reasoning, and the concept of the transcendent is examined. The book argues that these non-material aspects of human existence cannot be reduced to materialistic evolutionary causes. The RTB Human Origins Model. The Reasons to Believe, RTB, creation model is formally outlined. It posits that God created Adam and Eve de novo, as physically modern humans, in a supernatural event within the ancient Near East relatively recently, against a backdrop of an old Earth and universe. Addressing common objections. Potential scientific and theological objections to the model are tackled. This includes discussions on human and chimpanzee genetic similarity, the interpretation of ancient hominid fossils like Neanderthals, and the theological challenges of death and natural evil before the fall. Theological and scientific integration. The book concludes by asserting that the RTB model successfully integrates the biblical narrative with mainstream scientific findings in paleontology, genetics, and anthropology. It presents this harmony as a strength of the model compared to both naturalistic evolution and young Earth creationism. Who was Adam? Concludes that the scientific evidence from genetics, paleontology, and anthropology, rather than contradicting the Bible, provides a compelling case for a supernatural origin of humanity. The book argues that the data best supports the existence of a historical Adam and Eve, a first human pair created by God's direct intervention, possessing unique spiritual and biological characteristics that distinguish them from all other creatures.